Adventures in the Wildwood Jungle. In the heart of the Wildwood Jungle, three best friends, Zane the clever monkey, Tilly the witty parrot, and Bruno the kind but slightly clumsy elephant, spent their days having adventures. One sunny morning, as they were playing near the Crocodile Creek, Bruno, in his excitement, slipped and tumbled into the deep water. Before he could climb out, Snaggletooth, the grumpy old crocodile, surfaced with a wicked grin. "Well, well, what do we have here? A hefty meal delivered right to my doorstep." Snaggletooth chuckled. Bruno gulped. Uh-oh. Thinking fast, Zane and Tilly knew they had to save their friend. Tilly swooped down, fluttering dramatically. "Oh, mighty Snaggletooth, do you not know? Bruno isn't just any elephant, he's enchanted." "Enchanted?" Snaggletooth blinked. Zane, always quick on his feet, nodded. "Indeed, whoever eats him will grow feathers and start singing opera for the rest of their life." Snaggletooth's eyes widened. "Opera? I despise singing." Tilly gasped. "Oh no, it's already happening. Bruno, quick, sing something." Bruno, catching on, cleared his throat and let out a loud, terribly off-key note. Snaggletooth recoiled in horror. "No, get out, I don't want to be a singing crocodile." Bruno scrambled out of the water, and the three friends dashed off, laughing breathlessly. From that day on, Snaggletooth avoided Bruno, fearing the curse, and the three friends continued their jungle adventures, knowing that wit and teamwork could outsmart even the trickiest of troubles. Adventures in Wildwood Jungle, Part 2. One breezy afternoon in Wildwood Jungle, Zane the Monkey, Bruno the Elephant, and Tilly the Parrot were exploring the ancient Baobab Grove, a place full of towering trees and mysterious vines. As Tilly soared high above, she spotted a tree filled with plump golden berries. "Oh, these look delicious," she chirped, diving down to grab a snack. Just as her beak snapped around a berry, snap! A net hidden in the branches sprang up, trapping her. "Help!" she squawked, flapping wildly. Down below, Zane and Bruno gasped. "Poachers!" Zane whispered, spotting a pair of hunters in the distance. Bruno's ears flapped in worry. "We have to get her out before they return." Zane, ever the mastermind, hatched a plan. "Bruno, let's make them think the jungle is haunted." Bruno nodded and stomped the ground, sending deep, rumbling vibrations through the earth. Meanwhile, Zane leaped from tree to tree, throwing sticks and leaves into the air, making eerie shadows dance. Then, in his most ghostly voice, Zane howled, "Leave this place, the jungle is angry." The poachers froze, their faces turning pale. Bruno let out a deep, rumbling growl. "Who dares disturb the sacred grove?" Terrified, the poachers bolted, screaming, "The jungle spirits are real." As soon as they were gone, Zane climbed up and tore through the net, freeing Tilly. She fluttered to safety, breathless. "You two are geniuses." Bruno grinned. "And you, my feathery friend, need to be more careful with your snacks." With a laugh, the three friends continued their adventures, knowing that as long as they stuck together, there was no trouble too big to escape. Adventures in Wildwood Jungle, Part 3. It was a bright and lively morning in Wildwood Jungle, and Zane the Monkey, Bruno the Elephant, and Tilly the Parrot were playing near the Whispering Falls, a cascading waterfall said to hold ancient secrets. As always, Zane couldn't resist a dare. "I bet I can swing across the falls faster than a blink," he bragged, grabbing a vine. "Zane, wait, that vine looks—" Tilly started, but it was too late. Snap! The vine broke and Zane tumbled mid-air, plunging straight into the misty basin below. Splash! Bruno and Tilly gasped in horror. Zane wasn't surfacing. Suddenly the water churned, and a shadowy figure rose. A giant ancient turtle named Grumblejaw. He was known for his grumpiness and dislike of noisy visitors. "Who dares disturb my peace?" Grumblejaw bellowed. He had Zane clutched in his massive, wrinkled flippers. "Uh-oh," Zane muttered, dangling helplessly. Thinking fast, Tilly flapped her wings and began mimicking the sound of the jungle elders. "Grumblejaw, the spirits of the jungle demand you release the monkey at once," she declared in a deep, mysterious voice. Bruno stomped the ground, making it tremble. "Yes, the jungle will be very upset if you don't." Grumblejaw blinked. The jungle spirits? Yes, Tilly nodded. And they say that if you don't let Zane go, you'll lose all your favorite sunbathing spots forever. Grumblejaw hesitated. His love for basking in the sun was legendary. With a grumble and a sigh, he released Zane. Fine, take your noisy friend, but stay away from my waters. Zane scampered onto Bruno's back, dripping wet but grinning. Well, that was refreshing. Tilly rolled her eyes. Maybe next time don't swing on suspicious vines. Bruno chuckled. One thing's for sure. Wherever Zane goes, adventure follows. And with that, the three friends walked off ready for their next wild jungle escapade.